Hello, hello, good afternoon. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all have had a great day. Hope you had a good morning. So let's get started. Let's get started. I'm eating while I talk to you guys, so bear with me. Apologies. Two birds, one stone. How about that? So, yeah, this is going to be episode one of my in real life series that I'm doing this week. So, this is episode one. And we're going to be talking about boundaries and relationships. Okay? Boundaries and relationships. I don't know if there's any of you who have a problem with respecting boundaries from your partner when they're set, or if you yourself have a problem setting boundaries and then sticking with them, or this may not apply to you at all. It may apply to someone you know. It may not. Who knows? But I said we can talk about it because once again, I'm going to be hyper focused in this week on topics that have to do with our real day by day life. Okay, hold on. So it says boundaries and relationships are personal limits and guidelines that define how you want to be treated, what behaviors are acceptable, and where your identity ends and another's begins. Hold on. Okay. And it says, rather than being walls, quote unquote walls, that shut people out, healthy boundaries act as bridges that foster trust, safety, and mutual respect while preventing burnout and resentment. Okay? Because you don't want to be left feeling burnt out or resenting whoever you're with, and vice versa. You don't want them to have those feelings towards you either. Duh. Types of relationship boundaries, excuse me. Healthy relationships typically involve several distinct types of boundaries. See how many they gave us. Two, four, six, seven. So they gave us seven types of relationship boundaries. The first one is physical. Okay. It concerns your personal space, comfort with touch, and physical needs like rest. Okay, so this is a good one because not everyone likes to be touched. You know, for some people, they don't like that, except for when it's time to, you know what. And outside looking in, that can sound mean, cold, rude, whatever have you. But hey, people operate how they operate. And it doesn't mean that it's something personal. It just means they don't need you or want you all up on them like that. Unless it's time for you know what. Same with sleeping, like when you're in your bed, there's some people that just really want their space. They don't need like, can you get on your side of the bed? Like, I need you to scoot over a little bit. Calm down. You're making me hot. And if they express that to you, you have to respect it. And if you happen to just be in the mood to want to cuddle or something, just verbalize that. But just understand that's not how they get down all the time. Okay? Physical needs like rest. Yes. Come on. Like, people have to sleep. People have to sleep. And just because, especially if this is a situation where you're living with someone, you may be wide awake. That don't got nothing to do with them. If they're trying to sleep, they're trying to sleep. You got to respect that. Move around. Figure something out to do. There's always something to be done. Always something to be done. Let's see. Hello, cloud dwellers. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. All right, so that was the physical boundary. Next one is emotional. This involves respecting feelings, deciding how much to share, and separating your emotions from others' reactions. Involves respecting feelings, deciding how much to share, and separating your emotions from others' reactions. So, okay, for instance, your partner might express to you that they have strong feelings about something that you just feel like is silly, simple, stupid, don't make sense, whatever, right? And just because you feel that way doesn't mean that you should you know, bypass the feelings that they are expressing to you. That doesn't mean that you need to take them on as your own, but you should definitely be acknowledging the feelings that your partner is expressing to you about something, regardless of how small you may think it is. Okay. And deciding how much to share. So, for example, say if they are visibly in a mood or visibly upset, or they may have expressed that they're having a long day, or they had a long day, or whatever it is that is causing them any type of angst, right? And you say, hopefully, you're the type to say, what's wrong or what happened, what you got going on, whoop de doo, right? That's you doing your part by asking and genuinely asking. If they say, not if they say nothing. I don't subscribe to my partner saying nothing if I know that something, it's something, right? But if they say, oh, I don't really want to talk about it right now, you know what I mean? Or they tell you some of it, but you're like, you know what? I'll just talk to you about the rest later, whatever. Just respect that because they're saying that for a reason, Just give them their time and their space, and then that's a conversation you can circle back to later. Don't press. You did your part by asking, and vice versa. The next one is time. Setting limits on how much time you spend with others versus solo, and honoring commitments slash tardiness. Okay. So this, I guess, I don't know if we could say it's super different if you live with someone or not, but people like their alone time, you know what I mean, their personal space. And even if you're not that type of person, you still have to have the ability to respect and understand that. Find a hobby or something. You should never really be in a business or get in the business of being too attached to who you're with. Let me see. Find a hobby. Make a lunch date with your friends or family. Do something with your family. Figure out what it is that you enjoy doing, separate from your partner. And it says honoring commitment slash tardiness. And if you say you're going to do something or show up for them, do it. You know, especially if you know it's something that's important to them. Okay, they're reciprocating that same type of energy and time. And if it's something that you're told about or informed about, in enough time to where you can take care of your business, whether that's requesting off for work or whatever the case may be, there's really no excuse. There's really no excuse. Unless something happens. And if something pops up, because sometimes that happens, it is what it is. you need to make sure that you are expressing that to your partner, letting them know what's going on, exactly what's going on, whoop de doo, and vice versa. Because I talked about this before. We do and put in the time and energy into the things and the people that we want to, regardless. A good 6 or 7 times out of 10. Intellectual, respecting different ideas and values, and maintaining your own perspective during disagreements. Yeah, so many times, women and men, but I find this mainly with women. I can't say for sure, but just from my experience, from just knowing people, there's some people that they kind of go wherever the wind blows them, so to say, and they will have strong takes on things depending on who it is that they're with. But in this case, it says maintaining your own perspective during disagreements. So, for example, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a Trump supporter. You know what I mean? If you're a Democrat, you're a Democrat. So if you're having a political debate with your partner, spouse, and they feel really strongly about what they're saying, that doesn't mean that you need to fold and switch up, you know, how you feel. Doesn't but you also listen to their what they're saying and their takes because it may be something that you didn't think of before, but you don't fold up just to appease them because you guys are having a disagreement about something. And that's on a few different things. That can be anything. And a lot of times people find themselves having issues when it comes to how they want their children to be raised up, or if they even want children, you know. And in that case, that's something that you need to be very firm with and clear with from the jump. Not to say that you can't ever change your mind or your partner can't ever change their mind down the line. But with certain things, if you're very clear about where you stand, there's no gray areas for there to really be any issue. And if there is any issue, that's because the other person either changed their stance on it or they weren't honest when they said they were down or were okay with where you stood on something. I don't know if that makes sense to you. To you all. Let's see. Financial slash material. Decisions, about shared experience, expenses, personal possessions, and limits on lending money. These are very important things. When it comes to money and relationships, that's very important because it doesn't grow on trees, right? Let me see. Okay, let me see. Oh shoot, my bad. Hey, Lace. Peace via she and chat. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Make it the day you deserve, right? Because we steer this ship. Solo time is so important. It really is. It really is. It's essential for self growth. It really is. What you eating on, V? I had made some chicken. I made a pot of chicken and rice for dinner yesterday. So I said, I'm getting more fit in with these leftovers. You know what I'm saying? Honoring your word is important. Think before you say an absolute yes. For sure. I'm big on that. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm very big on that. If your word ain't bond, what is it? Hey, kiss my cheeks. How you doing? Well, I hope. We made it a rule not to debate on certain topics in our household. It keeps the peace more settled. I dig it, especially if you have If you both have a set of friends or family members who are down for that debate or that conversation, have it with them. Especially if you know it's going to get to a point where y'all going to really be going at it. You say, I'm nosy. I ain't mad at it. Shoot. Let's see. You say you hiding. You can't hide from me, girl. The fudge. What you talking about? Okay, so I seen all of that. Let's continue. Let's continue. Do do do. Oh yes, financial/material decisions about shared expenses, personal possessions, and limits on lending money. Mm. Okay, decisions about. I don't know why words sound weird when I say it, but whatever. Decisions about shared expenses. Shared expenses. What do y'all think about when you hear the words shared expenses? Because to me, I would think really almost anything, to be honest, but mainly bills, groceries, um, not so much as car payment, car insurance, unless you want to split it or whatever have you, whatever works for that household. But for the most part, it would be whoever the one that drives will be taking care of that. And if it's two cars, then each of you take care of your business. But ultimately, especially when you're living together, it's all in the same pot to keep it a bean. About shared expenses. So maybe who's going to pay what, who's responsible for paying what, personal possessions. Like, okay, this is my car. I don't want you driving my car. You don't need to be in my car. You don't need to touch my stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's financial/material too. So really anything, because there's some people that just don't play about you touching their stuff. You know what I mean? You don't have no reason to touch my stuff. I'm not going to touch your stuff. Just please don't touch my stuff. And even if that's annoying, depending on what your reasoning is, just respect their boundaries. Don't touch their stuff. Shoot. Um, and limits on lending money. That one is tricky, especially if one of the two of you or have people in your family that always need or want something or that you're helping or taking care of, that could get tricky. Or even if you have friends that just can't ever get right. So they always need or want something, but that's your people. So you want to make sure they're straight. That can get really tricky. It can. All right. Cover y'all ears. This next one is sexual communication about comfort levels, consent, and specific sexual preferences. Mind you, we're talking about relationship boundaries, okay? Communication about comfort levels, okay? How nasty you trying to get? What is it that you trying to do? What are you trying to allow be done? What are you trying to or think you trying to do to me? Okay? Consent, obviously, if it's something I can't talk the way I need to talk about that. Consent, just make sure that they down, okay? And if you're not down or if something ain't feeling right or you ain't with it, just make sure you verbalize that, okay? And specific sexual preferences. Depending on how you like to get down, you might be a woman that likes women as well as men. Talk to your man, he might be down. Some men don't look at it as cheating if their woman is messing with another woman. Some men is like, nah, with the fudge. Then it's like, as far as like that with the men, mm, if you're a man that likes men, but you're with a woman, number one, I think it should be illegal to not even disclose that, but that's a whole separate conversation. But yeah, let her know what type of stuff you into, and that way she can make an educated decision on if she with that ish or not. Mm. Next, digital rules regarding phone privacy, social media interaction, and sharing passwords. Respect people's boundaries. Don't be all up in someone's stuff, okay? And if you are going to insist on being all up in somebody's phone, computer, laptop, whatever have you, be prepared because you may find something that will have you ready to flip the house, okay? But I would say just don't do it. Don't do it, okay? Especially if you're the type to go through somebody's stuff, you find or see something and you don't do nothing about it anyway. And the most you're going to do is walk around with a little stank attitude, but you're not going to say nothing or do nothing or leave. And why are you not going to say nothing? Because you know you was wrong for even going up in their stuff. Now, they were wrong for doing what they were doing because there shouldn't have been nothing in there when you looked in there. But at the same time, if you're not going to do nothing about it, what is the point? You know? Social media interaction. When people say social media ruins relationships or gets you in trouble, I call cap. I say it's what you choose to do with it. You know? I'd say it's what you choose to do with it. That's all. So if you know what you're supposed to be doing or what you're not supposed to be doing, do it or don't do it. And if you are going to do it, you just better move however which way you need to move, or else you're going to have some trouble. Um, Sharing passwords. Some people are with that, some people are not. It really is whatever works for y'all. Because I know a couple different people that get down like that. They know each other's passwords, they share locations, all that good stuff. And then you have other people like, it's like, no, I have a right to some privacy. Tough. And I know people who, I know couples who have shared social medias. And to me, I'm just like, I don't got time for that. It's Tom and Cheryl's Facebook. So now every time I'm messaging, I don't know if I'm getting Tom or if I'm getting Cheryl. No, I won't accept your friend request. You won't be on my friends list if you sharing it because I don't got time for that. If I'm cool with Cheryl, I'm not trying to have Tom be privy to all of what me and Cheryl be talking about. The fudge. That's just OD to me. All right, let me see. Let me go up because y'all know I be going on tangents. Jeesh, Louise. Why won't it let me go up more? I was being corny with the comments. Ew. All right, so let me go up as far as base what you say. Loaning money. Yeah, there's some people that do that, you know? And they don't have a problem doing that because that's their people's. But then you also have some people that are not beat for that. Like, yo, no, they always need something. Tell them to get a job. And I talked about this before, real quick. It's also about knowing who it is you're quote unquote loaning money to. And so if it's somebody that I just mess with so heavy, and I know they don't really got it. Not that they don't want to give it back to me, depending on how much it is, but I know that they're not going to be able to give it back, or it's going to be a drawn out thing. I'm either going to say no, depending on what it is or how big of an emergency it is, or it will be given mainly as a gift. I'm not really expecting to get it back, and I'm damn sure not going to be banking on getting it back no time soon. But that's conversations to be had, because once you become one, then that money is one too. I don't care what nobody says, you know what I mean? You said smack smack. What's up, SBK? Good afternoon. How are you doing? Well, I hope. Sure, why not? As long as it's not turned into a bad habit. I dig it. And for some people, they're just habitual borrowers. It has become a routine for them, especially if they know that you got it and you know that you got them. Hey, V. Hey, Riaz. Good afternoon. Let me see. Sexual experiences should be communicated very well and upfront. I think so. There doesn't need to be no gray areas. Everyone is grown. And really, you never know what somebody is into or will be down to be into until you have that conversation. You said be upfront and honest. I agree. Establish those things before a relationship is established. And then leave the door open for future discussions. Exactly. Sexual experiences are about respect first. Agreed. Agreed. Okay, it says ask yourself why. Why do I want to snoop through your mate's things? Right. Like, what is the reasoning? Then, if you still choose to do so, be ye prepared. I'm telling you, be prepared. For real. And once again, like I said, if you're not going to do anything about it because you just care for that person so much, or because you don't want to shake stuff up, or whatever your reasoning for not confronting them and then actually doing something about it, there's no point of even looking, because all you're going to do is just have yourself all upset and annoyed and walk around all stink. And they're not going to know, at least not for sure, what your malfunction is. It's just counterproductive. Trust, you know. And it just really is hit or miss, because you just never know. I don't put nothing past anybody. So you just never know. It just is what it is. All this is effective communication. Have the conversation of clarity. Super simple, at least for me. Yeah. Hey, G Mama Body. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Well, I hope. Yeah, I agree. We respect one another. Choo, choo, choo. I gave my babe my password to my phone and vice versa. We ain't have nothing to hide. Exactly. Hold on. With the understanding that your stuff is not going to be rated every day. It just is what it is. When you gonna drop the link, V? Just kidding, honey. I would be down to do that. I just don't be beef for no bull crap. But I'm not worried about that with you. Oh, I thought you were talking about loaning out money to your spouse. I mean, hey, that could be a conversation as well. Especially if you, because if you're living together, I feel like the money is one. But if you're not living together, but and that's your partner, and they want to borrow some money from you, that's your prerogative. And I feel like when it comes to money in general, it's just you have to understand where you stand when you're giving it. Is this a gift or is it a loan? And if it's a loan, you got the right to expect your money back, and they need to provide you with your money. And I don't look at it like the person who is asking to borrow the money should be looked at less than or down upon. Obviously, especially if they're working. You know, if they're not working, then it's like, But if they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing and they're working every day, they're supposed to work, whoop de doo, and they may need help with something, and you're in a position to be able to help them, and that's your man or that's your woman, you want to, why not? And if you are going to do it, do not make them feel less than, and don't throw it in their face, because that's whack. But also, don't rob Pete to pay Paul. Only do it if you actually got it. If it's going to mess up what you got going on in your house, then no. Sorry, babe, I can't do it. Let me see. Correct. If I'm asked for funds and I have to spare, I'll check with babe and then we agree. Yeah, it just is what it is. Respect hard knows when boundaries are set for real, because they're not setting them and verbalizing them with you for no reason. Hey sis, hey FNM. How are you doing? Well, I hope. Whenever you decide to drop your link, I love to chop it up with you one day. Cool beans. I might have to go back to my roots and we can chop it up. You said, what is your thoughts on EJ speaking on dating straight men and claiming he looks better than the girls? I think anytime a man or a woman believes in their mind that they are of the opposite sex, there's some type of mental um offness going on, respectfully. Like there's like a chemical imbalance in the brain that is a little off. Because it's one thing to be genuinely attracted to, the same sex or whatever, but to have it in your mind to where you're a man, like a man, and you really think and believe, not even think, you really believe that you are a woman, that's an issue. That's an issue. And there is no him dating straight men. He's dating men who are gay or bisexual or whatever you want to call it. And that's his prerogative to feel that way, but he doesn't even girl. I think there needs to be a law that's passed that says that has to be disclosed. Cause that's another when you talk about boundaries. You know how many men get tricked because I call it getting the premium package, you know what I mean? They get tricked. And then when they find out, they snap. And the next thing you know, that's a hate crime. But in reality, there should be a law, in my opinion, that needs to be passed that if you are a gender man or woman, regardless if you got surgery, because it's crazy they have it where you can get surgery and get that stuff switched on your birth certificate and all of that. I think it should be, to be honest, disclose it, and then if somebody is with it, they with it. If they not, they not. You know. But I think he's deluded, respectfully, and I'll leave that alone. Okay. Stop by to check on you. We'll talk to you later. Have a blessed day. Thank you. You have a good day too. Thank you for coming. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's just mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah, law, you shouldn't be able to, because to me that's a form of tricking somebody. And in a way it's a form of sexual assault. Because like I said, some of them they get the top premium package. And it's one thing to let it be known, and if they with it, they with it. Whether that's they want to be with it openly, or they on somewhere they with it, don't tell nobody type of ish. You know what I'm saying? But let people make educated decisions on what it is they want to get themselves into. Because I've seen a few different stories where somebody either was tricked with a dude that was whatever he was, or they was on a hush hush, and then the person the person got mad, so then they blew their spot up at their job wherever, and they got something done to them, and next thing you know, that's a hate crime. So, yeah, there should be a crime for that. Hey, Rachel. Good afternoon, via in chat. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Well, I hope. Okay, we might not even get through all of this. All right, so we went over what it means, what boundaries and relationships are. We went over the different types of boundaries and relationships. I wanted to be able to go over how to set and maintain boundaries, but that's okay. But what I'll go over quickly is it says healthy versus unhealthy boundaries. So it says, gives us a few different aspects. So the first aspect is the primary goal. Like what is the primary goal in setting said relationship boundaries or boundaries within your relationship? Okay, so it says healthy boundaries, primary goal, self-protection and respect. That's healthy boundaries. Unhealthy are if you're setting this boundary and your goal is as a form of control or manipulation, right? Okay. When it comes to flexibility, healthy boundaries, adaptive and negotiated as needs change because things happen, situations happen, whatever, right? So you're flexible with certain things. Unhealthy boundaries, rigid, um, or you're completely absent, you know what I mean? You're either just straight up putting walls to where it's just there's no flexibility at all. You're not budging at all. Um, or you're just not even around enough or available enough to where it really makes too much of a difference. Now does it, right? At least that's what I take from that. Communication, healthy boundaries, you're open, you're honest and respectful. Unhealthy, you're passive aggressive, you're giving someone the silent treatment, or you just shouting. You just no communication skills. Okay. All right. Autonomy, healthy, supports individual identity and hobbies. Like I said, that's important. And then unhealthy leads to codependency or what the heck? Enmeshment. Enmeshment. What the heck is enmeshment? Hold on. But you definitely don't want to be codependent. It's so unhealthy. And you're gonna always be let down when you're codependent because that means you're gonna want that person and all their time every single day. And if they have things to take care of, like it's always gonna be an issue when you're codependent. What did I say that word was? Enmeshment. Oh, okay. It says enmeshment. ENMESHMENT is a dysfunctional relationship dynamic often within families characterized by blurred boundaries, lack of personal autonomy, and extreme emotional dependency. That's a new word for me. Because I'm like, enmeshment. Okay, so that's what that word means. So let's go back. Ha ha. So it says autonomy, healthy boundaries supports an individual identity and hobbies. Unhealthy boundaries leads to codependency or enmeshment. And we just read what the definition of enmeshment is. New word, new word. That's funny. Let me see. Hey, John Show. Good afternoon. He says, this is when leading with conversation first is important. I agree. Stop leading with your sexual appetite. It's okay to really take your time. People just be walking around with their nose just wide open, like they never got a piece of nothing. And it's just like, come on, you a little schoolboy or girl. Most of y'all been doing quote unquote it since it has been done. Like, so why are you acting like a little schoolboy or girl? Walk around with your nose all open like that. Lovelies. Baby, you can do it. Take your time. Do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. What she saying? Take your time. Chill. Slow down. Slow down. I just want to get to know you. Calm that ass down. You say you're singing in the comments. Calm down. Okay. Sheesh. Lacking healthy boundaries. I'm telling you. And some people just genuinely don't know what boundaries are or what healthy boundaries are because they may have never been in a situation to where they needed to know this type of thing when it comes to relationship because they may have been with other people, who don't know as well. It's just really just lived experiences. It's also when you can lose yourself in a relationship. Exactly. You know how many people probably were very passionate or had a passion for something, got with somebody, lost their passion for whatever they were passionate with, and took on that passion of their partner or whatever have you. Good afternoon, V. Salute to the beautiful ladies in the chat. Hey, Nurse Petty. Good afternoon. I hope you're having a good day. I'm trying to tell y'all. So, yeah, I hope you guys were able to get something out of this. I'm about to get out of here. And this was just episode 1 of my In Real Life series that I'm going to be hyper focusing on this week. We discussed boundaries in relationships. V, I came out of nowhere. Interesting. You came out of nowhere. It's what you just come out the woodwork. That's okay. You're not the only one. There's a lot of out the woodworkers. You'll be okay. But yeah, thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it. And hopefully you're able to get something out of this. And even if it doesn't apply to you, it may apply to someone you already know, or it may apply to someone you may meet in the future. Either way, I appreciate you coming. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.